Hey everyone, it's Ann here. I'm excited to be with you. Welcome to my studio. Happy Sunday. Usually Sunday nights I go live in my Stamp with Ann group, but today was a little bit of a crazy day and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to fit my Facebook Live in, so I thought why not bring a pre-recorded video to you. And honestly, right now the way Facebook is going, it's hard to do a video because you're always getting these error messages. So you might see some more pre-recorded videos from me until I can figure out how to go live on YouTube. So that is my goal. I am Ann Granger. I'm an independent demonstrator here in Canada, and I'm excited to be with you guys. Today, as I said, I usually go live Sunday nights. Oops, my light just went out. In our Crafty session. And I wanted to bring that Crafty session to you. So each week I just pick a product and I design projects around it, showcasing all the fabulous products that Stampin' Up! Has to offer. One of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Is I love that I can go from paper to inks to embellishments and everything coordinates. I often hear, "Ann, I can't do what you're doing. I'm not creative." Well, guess what? That's exactly what I said 15 years ago. I remember being at a scrapbook crop and my friend said, "Come on, let's go stamp." And I was like, no way, that's not for me. Well, I'm glad I tried it because guess what? That has been my huge passion and therapy and happy place for the last 15 years. I love crafting together with my friends. I love going to scrapbook crops. I love having them over in my studio. I love sharing my passion by giving my cards away. And most of all, I love sharing my passion with you guys. So never say never, just give it a try, because you never know when you do, that magic is going to happen and you're going to fall in love with Stampin' Up! And all the coordinating products that we have to offer. So today I am bringing to you the Simply Fabulous stamp set. When I first saw this stamp set in the catalog, I was like, oh, I'm not really sure, it's cute. I'll add it to my list of things that I want to order. But obviously there was other things that I wanted to order right away. After seeing some samples made from some demonstrator friends, I was like, I have to order that stamp set, and I'm so glad I did. I often hear my customers say to me, "Ann, there's so many flowers in the catalog." I know, and there always will be, because Shelley Gardner and Sarah Douglas both love flowers, mostly Shelley. And if you follow Stampin' Up!, you know that Shelley Gardner is the one who is behind Stampin' Up! She started it almost 35 years ago. Actually, I think we're 35 years next year. Amazing that her and her sister started Stampin' Up! In their living room. And now it look to where it is. It's global, it's 10 countries, it's amazing. So I did a Facebook Live with my team on Tuesday night. I always go live Tuesday nights with my team. We talk about updates, we talk about what's happening on our team. It's a great way for us to connect with each other. And then I always share a project with them. So I said to them, let's look at this stamp set in two different ways. First of all, you're going to look at the bold greetings. There is a greeting for a birthday, for you. Just a little note to say, hey, thank you. Or just a note to say, you're fabulous. Or just to say hello. But then you can also look at all these amazing flowers. Then my team will say, "Ann, there's no dies to match." Guess what? You're right. There is no dies. You can just simply stamp, or you can do some fussy cutting. And either way is perfect. Actually, I've heard people say, fussy cutting is relaxing. I don't know. I'm a fan of fussy cutting, so it doesn't really bother me. But I think this stamp set is too gorgeous not to share. So we're going to create two projects. I've paired it also with the amazing phrase stamp set, one that you can earn for free during celebration. With a $120 order during the month of July and August, you can get this set for free. Trust me, you are going to want this set. It's amazing. It has a lot of great sayings in it. We're also going to be using the Butterfly Kisses Designer Series paper. The neat thing about this designer series paper, it's patterns on one with flowers and butterflies, and then it's geometric shapes on the other, which you could totally use for different projects. Don't think just flowers and butterflies, think of the other colors. And I love this pack. It's actually my go-to pack right now because of the bright colors that are in it. It also has a lot of the new colors from the in colors. Just grabbing my bin here, it's getting messy. And I also want to share with you another one we're using, which is called the Basic Borders. Just a couple quick reminders. If you're placing an order during the month of July, you're going to want to use this house code. You can go to my store, which is, head to my blog, which is stampwithann.com. Click the shop now, which you can shop 24/7. Use this hostess code at the checkout, and I'm going to send you the Fine Sparkle Adhesive Gems as my way of saying thank you. These are actually part of the Storybook Gnomes, and we'll be using that stamp set. We'll be featuring that suite in the next couple weeks. All right, so let's get started. So first of all, I want to share with you, the one thing I love about Stampin' Up! Is I can look at the designer series paper and pick out colors to match my projects. So here I am showing you Granny Apple Green, Costa Cabana, Parquet Party, Sweet Sorbet, Clips of Coral, and Mango Melody. Those are the project colors we will be using today for our project. Ink pads. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm saying. So I'm going to show you two projects. One's a fancy fold, one's a case from the catalog, and then I have a few other samples to share with you. So let's get started. Grab your supplies and come stamp along with me. All right, as I said, we're using the Simply Fabulous stamp set. So I had received a swap in the mail from one of my team members. Her name is Lori. She is in my second level. And when I saw her sample, I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. She had done this fancy fold card. And I was like, what is that fancy fold card? I've never heard of it. She told me it's a folded card corner by Lisa Curcio, who is a demonstrator in the US. So what I like to do is I like to create myself a template so that I have this template with the measurements written down, and I stick this in one of our clear envelopes and I put it into my drawer. So that when I'm looking for a fancy fold project down the road, I don't have to go search online. I have it right here. So this is the one I'm going to share with you. I'm actually going to share with you how to do the fold. We're going to create the card, and then I have another one, a sample to share with you. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your trimmer, and we are using Parquet Party. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And the first thing you're going to do, I'm actually just going to show you without the designer series paper. So my project, what I did was I actually adhered a piece of designer series paper, so 4 by 5 1/4 to my cardstock first before I did this cut, and I'll show you when I show you the sample. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to line it up at 3. We're going to make sure we're using the cutting blade, not the score blade, and we're going to line it up at 2.5 on my cutting blade measure tape. And we're going to bring it down to 4 7/8, which is basically this line right here. And then we're going to turn it to 3 inches, and we're going to line it up at 3, and we're going to cut down here to 5/8. So I know that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 5/8 is right there. You could mark it with a pencil if you wanted. So then what you have when you're done is you have this fold that looks like this. So you definitely want a bone folder to crease those cardstock and make them lay flat. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip this just like this, and you're literally going to score it like that. So look what happens. You have this beautiful piece of cardstock that goes like that. Sorry, cardstock, fancy fold cardstock that goes like this. How fun is that? So that is the initial fold, and what I'm going to show you now is how to create together. So let's just leave that over there. I have already created one, and I used the same fold. So here what I did first was I adhered my designer series paper down. You could do it after, but if you do, let me just show you what happens. You can have the risk of putting your adhesive in the wrong spot so that when you go to do it, it's going to stick. AK, don't want that, don't do that. That's what Ann did, don't do that. That's why we had to start all over. The joys of videos. So I put a piece of designer series paper, it's the Butterfly Kisses, 4 by 5 1/4 down, and then I did my cut and I created my fancy fold like that. So we're gonna put this one aside. I have a piece of white that I believe is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then I have a piece of white for the inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and adhere that down. All right, now we're going to decorate this. So let me grab some of my inks. So we're going to use the greeting that says, "You are simply fabulous," which I think is a great greeting. I think all of my customers are fabulous. I love crafting with you. I love sharing with you. So we're actually going to stamp this up here. Okay, so it says, "You are simply fabulous." Now we're gonna, I'm gonna leave in my green. I'm actually just gonna grab one of our little grid sheets. So right here. This is our Stamparatus grid sheets, which is perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in the flowers. And we're just going to, let's see here. We're just going to do some across the bottom. All right, so we're done with this color. Now we're going to bring in, I'm gonna do Clips of Coral because that's the color of my thing. And I'm going to get the little, let's do this one. Hold on here. So we're gonna do this stamp set here, and we're gonna do this stamp set. So as I said, this stamp set is a photo palmer, which is meant for two-step stamping. So you're definitely gonna wanna make sure you have clear blocks on hand. I have a drawer full of blocks, and I like that because it allows me to use as many blocks as I want, but also allows me to keep my images on my blocks so that I can use them multiple times without going off them too much. Okay, so we're just gonna come in here and now do some little flowers. It's a stormy day here today. I'm in Ontario in Canada, and we have not had rain. We need a good week's worth of rain. Like, we need rain 24/7, a light steady rain for a week. It is so dry here. It is crazy. Yeah, so it rained this morning, and it's supposed to rain again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that happens. I'm just gonna go grab some of my clips of my twine, which I forgot to grab. Okay, so we are going to adhere some twine around our little paper. So just like this. This is the parakeet party twine. I should just call it that. No, that shouldn't call that either. I need to think of a name for this color. So here's my example of how things coordinate. So we went from the designer series paper. So I picked the colors that were in the paper. I went to my cardstock. I went to my ink, and now finally I'm going to my embellishments. So that just shows you how things coordinate. When I first started, I wasn't a stamper, I was a scrapbooker, and I always used to find it frustrating going into a scrapbook store, and I would buy these things, and guess what? They just would never, I would never use them, because when I would get home, it would be the wrong color, or it wouldn't be right, and yeah, that just frustrated me. And then, as I said, I was at a scrapbooking crop, heard of Stampin' Up, and didn't try it for the first couple times that I was there. We used to go to these crops every 6 months. But then I did, and I'm so glad I did, because now I love the fact that everything coordinates. It's my favorite thing. It really does take guesswork out of creating. You don't have to sit there and figure out, oh, is this product going to coordinate, or is this product going to coordinate? But I also find that I use my products more because they do coordinate. So I don't have leftover products because I'm always constantly using what I have on hand. And then if I know I run out of something, I know I just need to order the paper or the refill or, you know, more twine. It's not ordering a whole bunch of supplies I may not use. All right, so there is our project. How fun is that for a fanciful? Okay, I am gonna show you my other one I did. So this is called the Pocket a folded card corner, and I'm actually just going to put a little bit of adhesive here and here so that my project corner actually stays down. So there's one done in a green, and here's one done in Starry Night. Which one do you guys love? Tell me. Do you like the one that is done in Parakeet Party or Starry Night? I think they're both gorgeous. So what do you think? Do tell me in the comments which one you like. Just want to make sure I'm in the right view. Okay, awesome. So that is one project. We're gonna bring that back in as I share some other samples with you. We're gonna move on to our next one. So let me just clear my workspace. So this one is actually kind of a fun one. And this one was a case from the annual catalog, and I'm gonna show you where that is. Let me just grab my catalog. So if you're in Canada and you do not have a demonstrator and you would love a copy of our annual catalog or our holiday catalog, please send me a message and I will pop one in the mail for you. If you've ordered from me and would like a catalog, please let me know. You know, I'm making sure that the people who want the catalog are the ones that are receiving them. Things are expensive these days. So yeah, and please request a catalog if you would like one. Okay, so Simply Fabulous. Let me see where thing is. So here's a little trick. Go back to the stamp index. Look up Simply Fabulous, page 41. And I'll show you what I did. Oh my goodness, I can't get the page, it's sticking. All right, so here is the stamp set, Simply Fabulous. It's a $25 stamp set. It's great. The sizes you see in the image are true sizes to the stamp. And down here, it's gonna give you the ordering number and how much, and it also will suggest the blocks that you need. So if you don't have a lot of blocks, that's what you need. So as I was scrolling through, I really liked this card here, and that is the one I'm gonna show you how to create now. So as I said, when I sit down to create, I'll go pull out the products that I wanna use, then I'll go to the catalog to see how the amazing concept artist used it, and then I will get to town creating. So this is the one we're going to create. So let's get started. All right, we are using Sweet Sorbet, which is one of those core in colors, which was released in May of 2022. These colors will be around for 2 years. I have a piece of white that is, got my ruler out, that is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. I have a piece of pattern paper that is 3 by 4 1/4. We're going to use that for die cutting. And I have 2 pieces of our paper that measures 3 1/2 by 1 1/2. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to set these off to the side, and we're going to bring in our big Stampin' Cut. So this is our Stampin' Cut machine. I call this AKA the Big Boss. He is the big boss. He's the one I need when I have to do embossing folders, big embossing folders, and all those fun things. So we're going to use our Designer Series paper. We're going to put it down, and we're going to be using the basic border dies. I am going to be using this one right here. You're really like thinking, well, why would I use that one? What's that one going to do? Well, wait till you see. I'm just going to try to find my card here so I can figure out what I did. All right. We're just gonna put it like that, and then we're gonna run it through. And then we're gonna always get in the habit of putting your dies back on. So I am using magnetic sheets. They are from Stampin' Storage, which is a company in the US. Highly recommend them. They're chipboard. And what I always do is I label them with how many dies are on them, so I know that when I put my dies away, especially when I'm doing classes, that I know I have the amount of dies that I need for that set. So I'm not emptying a garbage can, realizing 2 days later something's missing, and then have to go look, because that's not fun. All right, so what I've done is that die actually cuts a fun shape. So you could save this for later, but we're gonna use that one. And it's okay that it's not centered because it adds to your card. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to bring this down, and I kind of like it this way because then I know what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna grab clips of coral, and we're gonna grab the stamp set that says "Just Saying Hello." All right, let's bring that. Oh, I need that. Let's put this over here. Bring my grid paper in. So we're gonna stamp just hello. You can stamp whatever you would like on yours. I just thought this would be a fun card to send to a friend. All right. We're gonna close that out. We're gonna set that off to the side. Actually, we're just gonna bring it back. So what I'm gonna do is probably just gonna leave it here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp some flowers. So I just want to know kind of where my line is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring back in this stamp, and we're going to use Grainy Apple Green. So once again, I'm just gonna guide this to where I want to be. And we're just gonna randomly stamp them. You can have some up high, some down low. So it looks like that. And then we're going to grab the one that has 3 little hearts on them. Kind of fun. They do look like hearts to me. And I'm actually just gonna move some stamps out of my way, and we're going to bring in Sweet Sorbet. Makes me think I want to have some ice cream. And so on here you can see they have these 3 little petals, and what I'm doing is I'm literally just lining up the stamps on those. Okay, and we're gonna leave those ones, let's just put ones down here. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Now we're gonna bring this in, and we're just gonna set this off to the side. So before I move my paper away, we gotta do 2 things. We need some flowers, so let's grab a strip, and we're going to stamp this flower in Sweet Sorbet. We're gonna do 3 of them. And we're going to grab this one here, which looks like the center of it. And we're gonna do Mango Melody. The one thing when you don't do a Facebook Live, I gotta keep making sure that I'm in the view. Okay, so we're just gonna stamp. Oops, I think I need to re-ink my ink pad. There we go, just did some extras just in case. Okay. Oh, and before I put my paper away. So this was a really cool technique. So one thing about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is you have access to resources. So when the concept artists make their samples, they create a supply list, and then they create a big document. So when I went to look up to see what colors was used in this project I'm using today, they did a technique where they took the stamping blends. So I'm going to use dark clips of coral. And what they did was they colored the paper. And I was like, what? Actually, it's so cool. Just go like this. You could do dark or light. And look what happens. It kind of just like creates this fun little, you're coloring it in, but as it dries, it gives like this little tone of paper. So let's just do big long strokes on this one. So there you go. How fun is that? Such a cool technique. Definitely gonna try that with more. We're gonna let that dry. And then I like how it gives like darker and lighter shades, which is kind of neat. So now we're gonna assemble our paper. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to fussy cut out my, so one thing with fussy cutting, you really want a good pair of scissors. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna guide the scissors and let your left hand do all the cutting. So I'm just literally trimming. There's one. So tell me, what are you guys up to today? I know this is pre-recorded. I feel like I'm missing my in-studio audience, but it's the next best thing. So please leave me a little comment in the comments what you're up to today. Are you on vacation? What's the weather like your way? As I said, it's very hot here in Ontario, very humid. So sometimes it'll feel like, 33, but it'll actually feel more like 40. And I don't do hot and humid. I don't like being outside when it's hot and humid. I'd rather be inside. So, but I will wait till my deck is shaded because I can't be inside all day with no fresh air. And then I will go to my outside and read on my deck once the sun is not on it. Okay, so I'm just cutting out those little flowers right now. I will also be sharing with you some samples that I made because I like to show you more samples because I feel samples sell a product. So the more you see something being used, the more you're going to be like, oh yes, I want to add that to my